guys to a new video. In this week's video it's going to be a bit shorter. I'm currently towards the end of my university semester of animation, so I can't make as long as a video this week. However, it will be a quick video on how to make gradients in pixel art, and I'll be showing you 3 examples or 3 easy ways of doing that. The first one, we'll just get right into it. The first one will be from making a simple gradient with just maybe choosing about 3 colors is what I would recommend for a nice looking gradient. I'm using the tool that can make a shape and fill it in at the same time. It's U on my keyboard, and yeah, so you first put the lightest color, which would be this one, and then your next color, which would be a bit darker than the lightest color, and then your darkest color, which would be there. And yeah, as you can see, you've got a gradient here going from light to dark. Now in the second example, just pick this real quick. In the second example, it's pretty much the same thing, but there's a technique in pixel art called dithering, and it's basically where you place some pixels in between. I'll just show a quick example of what that means. So it's the same with the first one, but I will zoom in and show you what dithering means. So dithering is basically when there are different methods, of course, of dithering, but the one I usually use is every other pixel. So with every other pixel you place the lightest color, or whatever color you've picked, and you place one for every other pixel, and you keep placing it until, well, of course, you've reached the end of your shape or whatever you're doing. And then even for here, you would pick the next color, that's the color down here, and then you place that in between. So like repeating the same process but in the opposite way on top here, and you basically get the point. It's doing that in between. You can even go and do even like one more layer of dithering here. I'm just going to quickly do that, and as you'll see already, unlike the first one, if I misplaced pixel, if I zoom out, you see that it's already starting to look more like an actual gradient as opposed to the first one. And it's the same method with the second one. It's the same technique. You simply put it in every other pixel. Just going to go ahead and copy this and move it over here to do the same thing. Yeah, so then after that you would use the same method. You would create this, or do it on the other side, and I will just quickly copy this and move it over there, and yeah, done. So I guess if I wanted to go a little bit extra, I could paste it. I could just copy this part actually, and paste it there. And as you can see, if I zoom out like I did, you see that already it looks much cleaner, or much more like a gradient. And now the last technique, or the last way of dithering, would be, again, you would go with your lightest color, you would make the shape of whatever go with the next darkest color, and then you pick your darkest color. But this time, or well, a quick tip I would show is to go to your size of pixels, and I'll increase this. Actually, I'll leave it as a circle, that's important, and I'll increase the size to, let's say 3, for example. And yes, you'll see the shape is more like a plus now. If I take that and I go here and place a plus in every other pixel like this, I'm just going to do about that, and then copy this. And as you see already, it's much quicker, but it's almost the same thing, but the pattern is just inverted, I'd say. And if I go again to do that, just make this and make it 3. Go ahead and do it over here as well. Now you can see that I'm already kind of making the same pattern as in the first or the second one. And I'm combining both of them. I'm just going to quickly copy this. Or if you change the pattern, you can see it becomes very interesting, and it goes from a small one to the big one. Actually, the more correct one would be if I switch this, so I'm just gonna quickly do that because it usually starts from there. Actually, I would move that. Yeah, okay. So I move this down here, and then move this one up there. The reason being that when you move it this way, or when you put it this way, then it starts from the most. Yeah, it starts from the smaller pixels, or the pluses, so a little bit, and then even more, and then finally the more spaces basically in between. And then if I use that same technique down here, where I put a pixel, and then that, and that, and that, so I'm going to quickly copy that. Right there. Just make sure that's over there, yeah. Then paste it to move it in. Just to make your workflow faster. Okay, as you can see, is the same as this. And then I will then do the same thing where I alternate it to create that other pattern. Just copy it. Move it there, and move it there. And if I zoom out, you can see, so here's the first one, which is a very simple gradient. The second one where we basically made like a checkerboard of putting in pixels in between. And then the last one where we use the plus sign as a brush by increasing our brush size and putting the brush to a circle, so that when it increased in size it became a plus, and we combined both the first and the plus to create this. So that's just an easy or simple way of making gradients. I hope that it really helped, and I will catch you in the next video. Stay safe.